Hey, Hebro77 here, and stay tuned because today we will be talking about Superpowers Batman.
Hebro77 here, and welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. This is Hebro's Toy Reviews. But this is the 1983 Jump Jetpack. I just broke his crotch. What do you think about her? I was playing tennis with Super.
Some games. And this is the owner, Daniel.
Hey everybody, Hebro77 here, and welcome to Hebro's Toy Reviews. And today we're going to be talking about Superpowers Batman. Now, a couple weeks ago, we talked about Superpowers Superman. And there was a lot of negative things to say about him. Well, let's see if we can eliminate some of that negativity. As today, we talk about Superpowers Batman. So, sit back, relax, grab yourself some snacks, and let's do a toy review. Here is Superpowers Batman from Todd McFarlane, still in the package of course, but I will end up taking him out of the package. But let's take a look right now at the package. And when I take him out of the package, I will not make the same mistake that I made with Superman. So here we see some fantastic art coming from Todd McFarlane. And we see Batman looking exactly like he did back in 1984 or 1985, one of those years. I forget what year it was. But looking fantastic, like he's about to jump off the comic book page. And besides this, and the McFarlane stamp, this looks exactly like the 1980s superpowers that we all knew and loved. And if you look at Batman inside the package also, he looks like he's not having any of it. He means all business, and we will do more about him once he's out of the package. But on the back of the package, you could see Superpowers Batman, or Superpowers Superman, which we already did a review, Darkseid, which we will do a review, and of course our current review is Batman. Now, let's read the file card, as these do come with file cards. As a child, Bruce Wayne watched as his parents were brutally murdered in Gotham City Crime Alley. Traumatized by their deaths, he devoted his life to becoming the world's greatest weapon against crime, the Batman. To become the ultimate vigilante, the Dark Knight disciplined his mind and body to reach the peninsula of mental and physical superiority in his relentless pursuit of justice. Pinnacle. That word's pinnacle. Boy, did I botch that up. Anyway, that is the scoop on Batman. And of course, you know, I know the scoop from A to Z when it comes to Batman. I can tell you just about everything there is to tell you. Just about. Not saying. And coming from Todd McFarlane, these toys are 12 plus. So here are the two vehicles that I do not have yet, but will soon enough. Now, before we take Batman out of the package, and we will, let's take a look at what the original Superpowers Batman looked like back in the day, the heyday. Now that you've seen what the original looked like, let's go ahead and take this guy out of his box. Okay, so here's the scoop on Batman. I carefully removed him from the package, even clipping the tag off with scissors, as you can see here, and still it left a tiny hole there at the bottom of the cape. So first off, this Batman, I do like his looks. He looks excellent. The blue gloves, the blue mask, the blue boots, even the blue cape, everything looks just fantastic. So aesthetically, this guy is really cool. Now, he does bend at the knees. Let's put down the camera for a second. As you can see, at a 45-degree angle, his arms go up and down. Now, oh, and I do like the fact that they didn't give him the yellow bat logo on his chest. They gave him this logo, which is the original comic book logo for that year, I do believe. Now, again, you know, the two problems that I have with these figures, the plastic capes, they're supposed to be cloth material. And you can get a cloth cape off of eBay for around $10. However, I paid nearly $10 for these figures. That's how much the figures are. And so, you know, at under $10, these figures are pretty cheap compared to when you adjust for inflation and Lottie, friggin' da, and whatever. But the other thing that makes them cheap is they do not have the gimmick like they had in the 80s. In the 80s, the arms would go up, you'd squeeze the legs, and they would do like a punch or something. Todd McFarlane and company obviously eliminated this feature to save money and make them cheap. Which, to me, just... if you're gonna do a remake of something, do it right. They got the packaging right. The packaging looks totally cool. It looks retro as hell. But then you turn around and you take away the one feature that kids remember that made the superpowers the superpowers. The little gimmick that made their arms go up and down. Now, we've had remakes in the past. We've had Ninja Turtles, Masters of the Universe. Did a 25th anniversary years ago. Now it'd be like, what, 30 or 40 years? Ghostbusters. Totally the same exact mode for the real Ghostbuster figures that they came out with, what was it, last year, I guess? And even G.I. Joe brought out some O-ring figures. Speaking of G.I. Joe, this is a remake. It's not exactly the same, but they're the same size. Their arms do go up and down. They don't bend at the knees or nothing like that. And that's kind of bad, but this is a decent remake. I mean, they basically took the Star Wars model and made them into G.I. Joes. And basically G.I. Joe at the time in '82 said, well, you know, there's Star Wars figures out here. And they're 3 1/4 inch. Why don't we make our G.I. Joes 3 1/4 inch? And that's what they did. So basically, it came to a full circle. But anyway, getting back to Batman here. I like the figure. He's okay. Again, he's aesthetically pleasing. If you have him still in the package and want to put him up on your wall, for that purpose, perfectly fine. However, you guys gave us cheap capes. You didn't include the gimmick. And I really don't like that. Here's another example of how you do a remake. Shredder from Ninja Turtles. Now, the box may be a little slightly different, but do you see any difference in this figure? I could take this guy out of the box and stand him right next to my original Shredder, and they look exactly the same because they came from the same mold. And that, my friend, is how you do a perfect remake. If you're going... This still has the Playmate stamp up here in the corner. Now the only thing it says over here is Classic Collection. You know, and they got to put their little stamps and shit like that on there, and I get it. But this is unacceptable. And this has come from Todd McFarlane. He does really expensive toys, but this is plastic. This is not cloth. And the gimmick is now gone, so what is the difference between this Batman and some other Batman I could buy down the street? Absolutely nothing. I mean, he's about as tall as Michael Keaton Batman. Just go buy a Michael Keaton Batman. You won't have the gimmick, but at least you'll have a nice action figure with a cloth cape, which doesn't have a hole in the bottom of it, like this plastic piece of crap here. Do I like the look of the figure? Sure. Perfectly acceptable. But if I had to rate these figures on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, I would have to probably go about a 5. Maybe even lower than that. I'm being generous when I say 5. I would have to probably, first reaction would have been like a 4. Even though the box art is, or the card art, not box art, card art is really good, and it's retro style and all that stuff, the figures themselves kind of suck. I gotta tell you. Yep. So, there is my review on this figure. And we'll see if Darkseid does any better. Well, that does it for today's toy review. But I think next week we're going to have something just a little bit more special. I'm looking into getting some of the vehicles for the Superpowers series. Maybe we'll do a review on that, or maybe we'll do a review on something of a vintage nature. But no matter what we do, just remember that knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. We'll see you next time on Heroes Toy Reviews.
Reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the battle of the Superpowers Collection. What's this? The dam's about to blow and take Robin with it? Who'll stop the Joker and Luthor?
Aquaman!
Kenner's new Superpowers Collection. Figures with power action, each sold separately with its own mini-comic.
Aquaman's down!
Who can help now? A power ring, a power action punch.
Defuse the bomb!
Can this madness be stopped in time? You decide.